Hey, good morning, guys. It is January 10th, and this day, this study today is a little bit challenging, I'll say. It is Chambers' take on the process of salvation, and he references Paul as Paul stands before King Agrippa and basically evangelizes or gives his testimony, his story of conversion to King Agrippa. And because it's Paul and because of the conversion story and how it happened, um, Chambers makes this assertion that there are three stages to the processes. I don't even know what that. I'll put it this way. So Chambers talks about conversion, um, salvation or regeneration, and then sanctification as these three separate stages that Paul highlights in his story. And he actually, and it's really interesting. He he asserts that conversion is not salvation, and so conversion is turning their eyes from darkness to light. And he actually says, and he says we need to receive something. Conversion is just that identification that, oh, that's darkness and that's light. That the world is giving me and my flesh is taking me to darkness, or is stuck in darkness, and Jesus offers light, and Jesus is the light. And that's just the conversion part. The next part requires us receiving something from Jesus, and that's salvation. And he says, I do not think it's too sweeping to say that the majority of nominal Christians are of this order, converted only. Their eyes are opened, but they've received nothing. Conversion is not regeneration, which is a really interesting assertion. It's kind of a doctrinal take that I'll let you guys deal with. But it's an interesting thought that there are many people that seem to be, and that's almost this maybe a good explanation of why so many people seem to have accepted the gospel, accepted the truth of the gospel, but are not living in any type of regenerated kind of life. I'll let you kind of determine what that means. And then the third step is really interesting too. Well, here, this is just to kind of amplify that other point. Chambers says in the second paragraph here, people register their vows and sign their pledges and determine to go through, but none of that is salvation. Salvation means we're brought to a place where we're able to receive something from God on the authority of Jesus Christ, vis-a-vis remission of sins. And then he talks about the second work of grace, and this is a very common doctrinal take, is the second work of grace is sanctification. It's taking us from a place from where our flesh drives what we do to where our spirit, we're regenerated in our spirit, and so we no longer are given to sin. And then he's in sanctification, that the regenerated soul deliberately gives up his right to himself. This is a phrase again and again that or at least, and I've talked about this before, that Chambers talks about, is giving up our right to ourselves. And that's one of the things, in all honesty, as I've read Chambers through the years, that's what stuck with me. The reason why I come back to Chambers every year for my daily devotional is that he reminds me again and again and again and again, and I think I need to be, is that a true follower of Jesus is one that gives up his right to himself. And that's what you see in Paul. I mean, we're talking about Paul here in his testimony, or his defense of himself before King Agrippa, and Paul's one of these guys that just with a really harsh kind of confrontation, if you will, of Jesus, had to give up his right to himself on the road to Damascus. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Really, really good study today. and I'm sure we'll talk more about it. Have a great day.